Hey Survivor, Seth Yates here, and I want to explain to you, okay, so you know I'm doing 365 days, the Send Seth Survivor Challenge. I'm demonstrating my dedication to getting on the show, to being cast, and I'm trying to give you a glimpse into who I am and how I've grown up and everything that's ever happened to me that's going to make me great on Survivor. And it started early in my childhood when I'm in Stendal, Indiana. This is the little town I grew up in southern Indiana. It's not a very big town. Behind me is the church. And you can see there's a cemetery up here. That's where my uncles and my aunts, my grandparents are buried up here. This is where I grew up. This is part of me. And I've been playing Survivor for a long time. And that's why I think I'm going to be so great at it, is because you see these slides behind me, those metal slides, those things are literally 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They will rip your skin off. They will melt your skin on the way down. And like with this one, if you come off of it and you don't land on your feet, you go right into the woods and boom, you're gone. You're lost forever. But this is a playground at the church, okay? We used to have a thing called the 4th of July picnic here every year. It was one of the longest continuously running festivals in Indiana for a long, long time. But right over here, I'm going to show you in this woods right here, there's this big ass tree. There's a row of trees down through there. It used to be cleared out. It used to be a path. Okay, and there used to be this platform right here where I'm standing, right here, this wooden platform with stairs going up. And at the top it had this big pole, and they would tie a rope on it, and they would run a rope down that hill. And at the bottom of that hill, about 200 yards away, they would tie it to a big-ass oak tree. And they would have a rope running to it, and then they had a pulley on it. And you would set on that pulley, they had this bar that would hang. It was a triangle at the top. It'd come down. It had a bottom. You would set on that with no safety harness, nothing. That's how I grew up. No safety measures. And on the bottom of that, it had a big rope. Okay? And you'd take off flying down that hill, and there'd be two guys standing up on the other side of the hill that would grab that rope when you'd come by. If they didn't grab it, you smack into that oak tree 100 miles an hour. So that's what I'm talking about. I've been doing Survivor challenges since I was a little bitty kid. And I'm going to show you another little thing that's no longer here. You're going to have to use your imagination, Survivor. There used to be a big pole right here where this light pole is at. You can see this light pole right behind me. And imagine this. It was an octagon, 8-sided swing. It was made out of 2x6s with metal brackets. It had these chains coming off of it. It had one thing on the top that would spin. And imagine being on one side of it and someone else being on the other. When they would jump off, your body weight would take you and it would literally break your kneecaps on the metal pole that was about 12 inches in diameter. So you can see my wife is up there on the golf cart. So this is where I grew up, in Stendal, Indiana, Survivor. And this is like Survivor training campground here. This is like Survivor 101. This was Survivor before Survivor was cool. And I was doing this shit when I was a kid. It was literally survival out here. We had a hamster wheel too, one of those big wooden wheels. This thing was like 8 feet tall. And you get in it and run, you get like 6 or 8 people, and if you fell down, you'd almost die. Okay, I mean, because the kids were mean, they just keep on going, and you just be rolling around in there screaming, and they just like, run faster. You know, they didn't give a shit. So, Survivor, I just want to give you a little glimpse here. This is Survivor training ground here. And I passed all these challenges. I don't just live through them, I excelled at them. But you had to live through them. It was crazy, crazy good time. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is right over there on the other side of those little swingy horses. There were some kids when we were all little shooting off bottle rockets, and me and some other guys went over there with water pistols and started squirting them. And one kid said, "We're going to shoot this at you if you don't stop." And we kept, putting their stuff out. So the kid lights it and holds it out, and there's like 6 of us, and we all take off running. And somehow he fires that bottle rocket, and it hits me in the back of the calf muscle. The stick goes all the way to my bone. The part that blows up slides back the stick and blows up on the back of my leg. Went to the hospital by ambulance. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was like 12. So then I'm on crutches for a week. A few days later, I've got a baseball game. Sorry, and I show up, and my coach, I couldn't play, but my coach told me that he was going to pitch me. He was really sorry that I got hurt because he was going to pitch me. So I ditched my crutches and I hobbled around on one leg trying to show him that I was okay to pitch. I was in tears. I was in so much pain. He didn't let me pitch. Obviously, he couldn't do that even back then when things were a lot different. But that's Survivor. I have no quit in me. I have drive. I have desire, dedication. I don't know how to quit. And I don't know how to, even through injury, You know, I don't know how I lived through all this. I don't know how we all lived through this stuff. But it was a great training and preparation for Survivor. I've been through the challenges you can't throw. I went through the disc of death. I went through the hamster wheel of death. And I went through the Indiana Jones type zip line. Okay, it was like the original zip line ever. Like if we had known then that this shit was going to be so famous, we would have marketed that better. Survivor, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for any challenge you throw at me. And I can't wait to get that phone call so I can come over there to Fiji and show you guys how it's done. Stendhal, Survivor style. I'll see you next time.